everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley, and today I'm actually here with a book review. Can you believe it? We're doing something different from writing and reading. I did read the book, so that's not really different. But today I'm actually reviewing an awesome book by an awesome author that I had the great fortune to meet last year, not in person, just online. The book that I'm reviewing is Goddess of Limbo by the amazing author Leah Falls. Full disclosure, I was given an ARC copy of this book back in July in exchange for a full and honest review, so let's get into it. Woo! First off, first impressions. It had super strong pacing. Also, can we talk about the cover for 1 second? Like, the cover, it's gorgeous. It's gonna be right here. It's beautiful, it's amazing. I'm gonna pop in all of Leah's links down below to buy the book so that you can go check out the book and you can go check out the cover artist, whom I believe was Cover Dungeon Rabbit on Instagram. Gonna have to look that one up later. Definitely go check out the links to order it and the links to add it on Goodreads. The only reason why I haven't added it on Goodreads is because I straight up forgot my password. Sorry, Leah. Back to my first impressions. It had super strong pacing. I was so impressed by how quickly like a 600-page book can move, by like a 650-page book can move, and honestly that's saying something for me because I tend to read really fast and I don't feel like I digest a lot of the plot at all times, but I definitely did digest the plot here. It was super engaging, kept me interested throughout the whole time, and I was really hooked to see where it would go, where like all the different POVs would go, where the plot would go, all of it throughout 600 pages. So if that's up your alley and if you're looking for an engaging read to keep you engaged for up to above 600 pages, then definitely check this book out. Try to keep my excitement to a minimum. Second of all, I loved the casual queer representation in this book. Now, it's pitched as like an LGBTQ fantasy Game of Thrones, so already it was hyped up and lived up to my expectations. I really appreciate it, especially with adult novels where they just, especially with adult fantasy novels, that they just include LGBTQ rep as so casually and as so part of the world building and so part of the narration as Leah did. I really appreciated that as a queer woman myself. And as someone who just like wants actual diversity and representation in books and like the media I consume, this hit the spot. There's not one, not two, not even just three, but there were so many queer characters, and there were so many queer characters with different kinds of experiences and choices and like backgrounds, which, you know, should be the norm by now and like should be what everybody experiences in their life. I know that it's what I experience, so it's only fair that we get to see that same experience reflected in our fantasy novels. I can say without a doubt that like this was one of the books that I would definitely have given to a younger self of me, although maybe not, because there is sex and like there's a lot of trigger warnings, so like never mind, forget past me, but it's the perfect book for me now because it's really great. It was just right up my alley with all the queer rep, all the representation, period, just how it weaved together all the plots, and that twist at the end, oh my god. When you find out the Goddess of Limbo is I had a lot of guesses, and I really love books that like keep you guessing, that I was actively engaged in, especially with that plot point. I was so excited to see who it would end up being. It really exceeded my expectations. I'm looking down at my laptop because that's where I have my script. I'm probably off script by this point, but I don't care. It was such a fantastic book that it's worth going off script for. So you're welcome. I loved the wordplay. There were so many jokes. There were also so many meta references, it felt like, to like books and writing and theater, and more on that in a second. But like just the wordplay throughout the book, that just not just metaphors, not just similes, but like referencing previous plot points and referencing previous scenes, etc., just really tied it all together and made me know that Leah, as the author, knew her shit, that like she knew what she was doing tying up loose ends. She knew what she was doing putting in all these different plots and like tying everything together. It was great. There were also so many theater references which like signed me up. Love the inclusion of theater. I know that Leah has been involved in the theater. I mean, obviously she's an actress, I really knew that like the theater aspects and like the songs and performance aspects were really coming from a good place. As an actress, she also really knows how to get into her characters' heads, and it really shows in the book. I find that really pretty hard to do with third-person narration, which is what this book was in. Plus, keeping all the separate point of views and just keeping track of all the different characters. Whenever I thought that the rotation of characters was set, that would be just that it would flip from Allie to Robert to Richard to Piers, that it would just stay that way. But she found really great ways of inserting new and all the different characters that we had just seen in like the background of these different point of views as main point of views, which I thought was really interesting, and also really smart to like get a second opinion or a second view on those different candidates. And wait, what? To get a second perspective on those different characters throughout the novel. I really loved listening to Subira's daughter. Not listening, I didn't even read it as an audiobook. I don't know why I said that, but reading her voice, it really stuck out. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Everybody's voice stuck out, but obviously we all have our favorite characters, right? I would say that mine was definitely Allie and Robert and Piers and Vena. That's a lot of characters, so maybe I just liked them all. But mainly keeping all the separate point of views and keeping all the separate plot lines all together and weaved in throughout, like I said before, it takes skill, okay? It takes skill. And that was something that I really admired when they all came together during the final battle in Limbo, and when it was finally revealed who the goddess of Limbo was. Oh my god. Life changing. Not just for me, but like for everybody in the book. I was so engrossed that I forgot there was gonna be a sequel. I really thought that it was gonna end like that. And then just the twist with Allie and the baby, and I can't believe where this is gonna go, where this series is gonna go. At least I hope there's gonna be a sequel. The action scenes that took place all throughout the book were so descriptive, but more than that, they really moved the plot forward, which is something that I really admire in especially fantasy series that are so full of political intrigue and war and battle like this one was. I really enjoyed the world building. We got the chance to go to a lot of different places within the novel, but they never felt too overwhelming, and they never felt too like haphazard either. All in all, really A+ solid fantasy world building, A+ storytelling, A+, all over. This was a very spoiler light review. I was a little wary of the Game of Thrones as the comp since I've really only seen the TV show, and when I did read the books, granted I was back in high school, so like that was a choice. Maybe I would appreciate them more now. We'll have to see if I ever pick them up again. That being said, I much prefer Lord of the Rings in terms of like my fantasy action and in terms of my fantasy violence, I should say, but this was a lot better than Game of Thrones from what I've read and from what I've seen. So maybe don't take that as like the word, but George R.R. Martin should be taking hints, especially when it comes to diversity, especially when it comes to representation, and honestly, especially when it comes to getting violence right and not using characters' identities or rape as a joke or like a throwaway plot device, because honestly everything in this book was not thrown away. Nothing was put carelessly. Everything contributed to the plot. Everything moved the story forward. Everything rose the stakes. It was top-notch fantasy, and I've been reading YA fantasy for a while now. This was adult, I do want to say, so it was a bit of a break from what I've been reading, but it still surpassed all my expectations for that. This might have been a spoiler light review, and I probably should have added a synopsis, but I'm going to leave you all with this quote, with one of my favorite quotes from the book. It's actually the dedication, so this might show that like I didn't read the book, but I promise I really did. The dedication really stuck with me. You can have like a good dedication, and then you can have a good dedication, I feel like, and it really sets the tone for the book. if you think about it. I've been thinking about writing a dedication for my projects, and I don't even have them published yet, but that's just because I feel like it would set the tone and it would do its job of also pulling in the readers, because I don't know about you, but I always read the dedication when I read a book and when I start a book. And I'm not saying that it would necessarily convince me to put the book down, but when there's a great dedication, it sticks with you, and that's what this one from Goddess of Limbo did. So I'm gonna read it out to you right now. For anyone who has stared at their splintered selves and wondered if they could ever be whole again, you are not just whole, you are divine. Boom! Mic drop. You can pick this book up anywhere you find books. You can pick up Goddess of Limbo at leahfalls.com. All her links are in the description below. Go follow her on Instagram. Go follow her website. Pick up her book. Order it now. I believe that you can also find it on Amazon and on Kindle. So definitely go pick it up if you like queer fantasy, if you like Game of Thrones, if you like political intrigue, magic, fantasy, and most of all, representation that is top notch. Oh, and plot twists. Did I mention plot twists? Crazy. Insane. I love them. Alright, I'm gonna end it here, because otherwise this might just turn into a 20-minute video about me gushing about Goddess of Limbo, but I can say without a doubt that this was like my 100% bias-free review. Even if I didn't know Leah, I still would have loved this book, and I still would have appreciated all the twists and turns, all the representation, because I feel like that is something sorely lacking. Maybe I just haven't had enough experience with books yet, with adult fantasy, but if you want to drop your recs below, I will be happy to check them out, and hey, maybe I'll do more book reviews. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for bearing with this video. I know it was insanely chaotic. Have a great one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody. Also, I just want to point out my sticky notes right here. They're channel rewards on my Twitch channel, so if you haven't already subscribed to my Twitch channel or followed or whatever, go do that right now. Twitch.tv/HaleyHCreates, and maybe you can redeem a sticky note thing right here on the green screen, and you'll be able to be featured in my upcoming videos. So join me there. Bye. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley, and you're all here. I don't know why. That was a bad intro.